Coming up, problems for the Russian economy, problems for the special relationship, and a Russian joke. First, high oil prices due to the situation in the Middle East may be good news for the Russian federal budget, but on the front page of Nezavisime Gazeta this morning, there is bad news for the Russian economy. Warnings of an economic crisis grow louder. Fresh data confirms quarterly decline in consumer spending. Participants of the Moscow Economic Forum heard forecasts of a protracted crisis in Russia. Russians may face a double-digit percentage reduction in consumption. Earlier, the Duma's Committee on Economic Policy also warned of a terrible drop in production and a massive withdrawal of money from bank deposits this year. Liberal economists are also talking about a likely reduction in GDP by 2% this year due to lower consumption. Moskovsky Komsomolets, the reduction in purchases by Russians is ringing alarm bells for the Russian economy. Now, I mentioned earlier the Middle East, and I noticed this today. On the one hand, Russia has opposed what it's been calling the illegal, unprovoked US and Israeli aggression against Iran. This is the Russian army paper Red Star. And yet, this article in Moskovsky Komsomolets is fiercely critical of the UK and Keir Starmer for not wanting to get involved in the conflict. Listen to this. The US only very rarely asks the British for help. This time, when Trump requested assistance to resolve the conflict in the Middle East, London offered only symbolic support. Prime Minister Keir Starmer made it clear the British wouldn't be drawn into the conflict. When the US asked for just a little bit of support, ships in the Strait of Hormuz, participation in a coalition, Britain preferred to be cautious. That doesn't look like a special relationship. Cultural links are deep. The US gave London the gift of Churchill, whose mother was born in New York. But friendship must mean something when something important happens. Keep in mind this is a war that Russia criticised. Now, I think this kind of article highlights how Moscow tries to drive wedges between members of the Western alliance, between America and traditional US allies in Europe. I think Russia calculates that the weaker those ties are, the stronger Russia is. It's why Donald Trump's recent criticism of and his mocking of European leaders, his criticism of NATO, went down well in Moscow. And one other observation about this, Russia clearly has no qualms about accusing America of illegal, unprovoked aggression, despite the fact that in 2022, Russia launched a full-scale, unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, which the UN General Assembly declared a violation of the UN Charter. A blast from the past from Komsomolskaya Pravda, which reprints its edition from the 17th of June 1963, announcing that Valentina Tereshkova is the first woman in space. And finally, to the joke section of Moskovsky Komsomolets and this conversation. If we share a state secret with you, you won't be allowed to travel abroad. I think it's worth it. I agree. Then listen. The secret is, life is better abroad.